It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Tuesday show, June 10th, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. If you watch it on X, we say good afternoon to you. Braylon out today. He's actually in an event with Joe Johnson, Anthony Tomey, born in Detroit.
George Gervin.
A lot going on with the Iceman and the Big Three coming to Detroit. So Braylon is out doing that. In the meantime, Tom Mazway up in the big chair today. How you doing, Maz?
I'm good, Ryan. It's always good to have you. Always good. I'm glad you got that spot right in front.
Oh my God!
The big Jeep just pulled out of there, and literally, you got there just in the nick of time.
If I didn't, the show would not start with me on time.
Correct. I was going to be alone.
Either that or you with Freddie Felt today. Freddie Felt in the chat.
How
in
about
the house.
that?
That's right.
He's here as
We
well.
got one of our
today.
chatters actually live in studio. Freddie Felton brought a whole box of goodies in for Anson, and what happens? Anson's not here today.
I feel like I'm working for Anson today. Usually I'm off on Tuesdays, but it benefited Anson to work tomorrow instead of today. So I was like, okay, I'll switch a couple of things around. At least it's the least I could do for Anson, who's bailed my scheduling conflicts out more than 100 times.
No doubt.
So I was like, well, yeah, I'll work on Tuesday, and he can work Wednesday and all that stuff. And poor Freddie comes in to see Anson today. What a jerk, Anson. Why did you have to swap out today?
That's all right, man.
Pause.
We'll handle it.
Ricky Burns is with us. Pete Spivak is with us. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Good, man. I can't complain. How y'all doing? You know it's Men's Mental Health Month, so I want to check in on how y'all doing this month.
Doing great.
Thanks
in
for asking.
fact,
Thanks for asking.
In fact, I just got done. One of the things I do at Fox 2 is this 1 o'clock stream show. And on the stream today, we had Dr. Michael Lutz from the Men's Health Foundation talking about the Run for the Ribbon event this Sunday at the Detroit Zoo. It raises awareness and money for the men's health event at Ford Field, which is September 20th. So men go, families go, grandpas, dads, sons. You can go get a free health screening September 20th at Ford Field. Everything is free. Even the food that they have there is free on that day. They just want men in this place, in the facility. It is like a one-stop shop. You get dental work there. I mean, everything that you want done, you can get at that men's
Open
health
to
event.
everybody.
Open to everybody.
You have to
is cool.
log in and reserve a
Nope.
spot.
You just show
It's a
up.
walk-in.
You just show up.
Nice.
We're definitely going to hit on that when it's closer
Yeah.
to the event.
Absolutely.
agree.
That is awesome.
I agree.
My dad goes every year because
great.
it's like you go, you get
One-stop
everything.
shopping.
You literally go get everything, and
So
then
they do blood work.
they
too?
do blood work and
Wow.
everything. And you know what? For the most part, if there's not a problem, you're on your way. They have admitted people to the hospital,
I've
like
seen that. Yeah.
right there on the spot. Like, you come with me.
So it's a lifesaver.
Yeah, absolutely. It saved multiple lives
Man,
over the course of the last 10 years.
that's fantastic.
Isn't
man.
it great?
Hey, guys, I know you don't like going to the doctor. Nobody does, especially us men. I think my dad's been to 2 doctors in his entire life until, later in his life where, he's just trying to hang in there with us. So don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Just go there and get your physical, get taken care of. Skinny guys to fat guys, all the way. I didn't mean to point to you, Freddie. I'm the fat guy.
Which one am I, Mass?
You're not. You're right in the middle.
Thank you.
You're right in the middle. Freddie, you go to the doctor?
Absolutely.
Is this mic on? Yeah.
I think so. For a lot of people, the reason they don't go is, the cost barrier. So many people maybe are uninsured and don't have a way to go to the doctor and get checked out, and that's one of the things that this men's health event does on September 20th. I know we're months away from it, but you uninsured, whatever the case may be, you show up, you're going to get checked out.
I love that.
And it's at no cost to you. So keep an eye on that.
You might be able to pick up a Lions ticket while you're there.
You might be able to. I'm
Be
sure they'll be
football
selling
season.
outside.
No doubt
You know,
about
so
it.
many different teams, and with the Lions doing OTAs last week and not showing up till a training camp, it is like, you turn on ESPN, you've got all these mini camps underway. Lions don't have a mini camp this year, a traditional mini camp because of their Hall of Fame game. They go to camp an extra week earlier, so it kind of cuts out the mini camp portion of their off season. But it is, football season is right around the corner.
Hey, my daughter Lily started her first day on the job today.
Hang on, Tommy.
With the Tennessee Titans. Here's her fit check. They call it a fit check, Ryan.
I love
You know
it.
what a fit check is?
What is a fit check?
You got to look and
When
see
you
how,
show your
how she's
outfit,
dressed.
you explain everything.
Oh,
that you're wearing.
really?
This is her first day on the job. Lily, looking forward to talking to you later. Working with the Tennessee Titans. I love you. Good luck, honey.
Is that a real thing, the fit check?
That's
Yeah.
what the girls call it.
Oh,
the girls
okay.
are like,
No,
all right, we're going to check
it's like a young kid. It's like a TikTok thing.
Oh,
Almost, 'cause
okay.
They'll do it with celebrities. They'll walk up like, fit check. What do you have on? Like, I got these $1,200 shoes on and these $300 jeans type thing. Yeah. What
I
the
see,
kids
I
are
see.
doing.
So she started her first day on the job with the Titans, and you speak of these mini camps, and there are a few studs that are not at mini camp today. And
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson's one, T.J. Watt is another.
Ugh.
These guys are sitting out. Pete, you might want to line me up. Might want to line me
Well,
up there.
if you get a
Okay.
line there you go.
Anyway,
Kind of
let me move over here.
over that way. There you go. Now
There it
we're
is.
talking.
Anyway, these stars are still out there, Rye, and people are still talking on ESPN and Fox and all these NFL shows, and they're saying these guys, there's a chance that Henderson is going to land with somebody.
Isn't
Someone put another trade out that the Lions can get him, and they won't give up. I mean, we say we know Brad Holmes is probably not going to do this, but the others, the national media, are saying they should.
It's not only Trey Hendrickson, it's also T.J. Watt.
That's
TJ
what I said.
Watt
You
is
must have missed me
Oh,
saying
yeah, I
that.
must have missed
Yeah,
that.
you must have missed that.
T.J. Watt is another guy that's out there, that I would be surprised. He is the face of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I
Yes.
would be surprised if Pittsburgh moved on from him, but whether there's health reasons, whether they're contractual reasons, whether they're just basic unhappiness reasons. There's a lot of movement in the NFL, and it really started about 10 years ago, I'd say, where this all this movement has come in mass. I mean, sure, Reggie White left the Eagles to join the Packers, and Charles Woodson and Joe Montana and all these guys. Those were huge moments in the NFL. But now there's so many players that swap teams.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the NFL so great. And that's what also gives each NFL franchise a little bit of hope here as you go into training camp as well. Maybe my team can get one of those players. And we mentioned this, Maz, yesterday out at the golf outing, which the Feldman golf outing, what a success.
1.5 mil they raised.
Yeah, $1.5 million at that event alone. Nearly $8 million since its inception back in 2021. But
That goes right to the kids.
Absolutely. One of the things we had mentioned was this idea of Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
Would you sign Jair Alexander? And to me, the answer was no, because I would want those resources to go to an area along your defensive line
need.
where you feel thin.
Right.
I think the Lions are okay, and one of their strengths is how deep they are in the defensive backfield with legitimate playmakers up and down that roster at defensive back. So could there be a scenario where one of these guys gets cut, gets let go, forces a trade, forces some sort of movement, and that's where the Detroit Lions could sit there and swoop a player like that up?
Yeah, it's not going to take much to get Hendrickson trade-wise. It will not.
Nope.
But then you have to sign him. That's the thing. And the Lions are allocating their money to their own people, more than likely. They do have $45 million or $48 million in cap space, number 2 in the league. Right behind, actually, the team that cut Jair Alexander, the Packers. So they got money. It's just depending where they want to spend it. You still got to re-sign Hutchinson, and then the rest of the group, you can go on and on. J-Mo, Brian Branch, Jameer Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, on and on and on. So those are the guys that they're going to concentrate on. But the national media, puts it out there because, let's face it, it's June. There's no football. Hockey's coming to an end. Not that anyone talks about it.
Right.
Basketball is coming to an end. It's coming to an end, man. Game 3 is tomorrow. Talk about that in a little bit. And then you just have baseball.
Right.
The Tigers playing great. The Yankees hanging in there. The Dodgers. They got the big cities that are playing well. But that's all you want to talk about. And when you put on sports radio and they're talking about anything but the Lions or even maybe the Tigers, it's a tune-out now.
Right.
It's a tune-out.
There's now no doubt. The Jair Alexander just, yesterday being on the road, we haven't had, we didn't have computers in front of us, anything that we normally would have in front of us. I did not realize yesterday, amidst the Jair Alexander conversation, that he's played 7 games last year, 7 games the year before.
Yeah, 10-10. He's
played a full season in 22. Well, actually missed a game because there's 17 games, and then 4 games in 21.
Yeah.
We talk about Marcus Davenport
Correct.
being off injured.
That's because we know him here. We didn't really pay attention to Jair Alexander.
Now
in
wonder
Green Bay.
why the
Yeah.
Green Bay
They're
Packers
gonna let him
cut
go.
Jair Alexander. He doesn't play.
Correct.
He's not available. So it's not a situation where this is some cap casualty. It's not a situation where this is some player that they've fallen out of favor with, that they want to move. This is a player who just is not available. So maybe that's why he was not tradable.
That's a fact.
That's not why he was tradable.
Right.
Or that's why he was not tradable.
He wants too much money, and all the teams know. We're not paying a guy that doesn't play very often. He plays a quarter of the games.
Right.
So that in lies, that's what the scoop is. Hey, but before we get really rolling into football, 18 years ago tonight, I'm sitting on the couch in the basement with my wife, and we're watching our favorite show, The Sopranos. And it's the final, and it's called Made in America. And we couldn't wait for it. Could not wait for it. And we're watching it. It's fantastic. Things are happening. Tony's winning again, we thought. And then the scene at Holston's, which is in Bloomfield, New Jersey. I go every year. Every time I go back home, I go to Holston's. Great shakes, great burgers on. They sit at the counter. Of course, when Tony Soprano's booth was there, I would sit in there every time. They've since sold that booth.
Really?
So they've redone the restaurant. Yeah, so it doesn't have the same feel anymore when you go in there. But there he is, putting his coins in the machine to play a music. Did you go to diners back in the day?
Absolutely.
When they had the jukebox there?
Absolutely, right
I didn't
at
know
the
if they had
table.
it in Michigan.
Yeah,
that way.
of course.
'Cause in Jersey, they all had
The
it.
last one I knew of like that was at Orchard Lake in 12 Mile.
Uh-huh.
I can't think, the name is escaping me right now. But
Was it a diner?
yeah, it was the actual
Yeah.
diner 24/7. They had a bunch of pictures in there of like a whole bunch of celebrities like Shaq and all these
Yeah.
celebrities. And you could still put money in there. I'm talking about this is like 10, 15 years ago. You could still put money
Yep.
in and play music. And like,
So he
I
puts
gotta go
the
there.
50 cents in. He finds, of course, Journey, and he plays it. And it's the biggest song still. I think that song was reborn
No
that
doubt.
night. And, of course, they play it every 8th inning here at Comerica Park. I guess that's our Sweet Caroline. You know, the Boston Red Sox play Sweet Caroline, and we play why is it escaping me, the name of the Journey song? Don't Stop Believing. Thank you, Ricky.
Isn't that it? Is that it?
Hey, copyright. Copyright.
And-
Just a quick second.
And we're watching.
I didn't even know where that was.
We're watching, and they're eating the onion rings. By the way, the onion rings are fantastic at Holston's. He takes it, he puts it in his mouth, he goes, just to get the crumbs off his hand, looks at the front doors, the doorbell rings. Meadow finally coming in the front door after taking 10 minutes to park her car out in front. She couldn't parallel park to save her life. And then
Black.
fades to black. And we're all looking at each other. I know there wasn't one single person watching that show that didn't think their television or cable went out that night.
Absolutely. The calls into the cable company, MF and the cable company.
Yep.
How could the screen go out?
Yeah.
And then what was worse than that is there was such a long pause
Before
of
they
a
put
black
the,
screen
yeah, before they put the credits
up.
came on.
So you're like, wait a minute. That's when everybody just kind of looked at themselves and said, wait, what?
That's it.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yep. 18 years ago tonight,
That's
on
crazy.
HBO. And I'm going to watch it tonight. I always watch it every year. And I will enjoy it. I've watched The Sopranos probably a dozen times. I know there's a lot. In the last 2 seasons, there were a lot of like throwaway episodes. The more I watch it, the more I'm like, they put a lot of filler episodes in.
Right.
And that, to me, took it down from the number 1 slot and gave it away to Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad, to me, is
Really?
the best show, hands down. They had 2 shows, maybe, The Fly and maybe one other one that was just a throwaway
Look,
show.
Breaking Bad. Okay, so I am in line with you.
Yeah.
The best show in the history of man was Sopranos until Breaking Bad came along.
Yep.
Breaking Bad never had a setup episode. Every episode made you hold your breath.
Absolutely.
There was no lead up. Oh, how many times do you watch a show, Sopranos, whatever the case may be? Name your show, and chances are there will be, oh, this was a setup episode.
Yep.
There was no setup episode ever in the history of
You're on
Sopranos,
the
or
edge of your
excuse me,
seat.
of Breaking Bad. It was just pure edge of your seat from the time you started until the time it clicked off. By the way, I saw, speaking of Breaking Bad today, the owner of the home in New Mexico that is Walter White's is so sick and tired of people taking pictures and stopping by that house.
You never thought it would happen, huh?
She
never thought it would happen.
She sits on the lawn with a garden hose and squirts people that
Old
come
school.
by.
I appreciate
And it's
that.
just
Old school.
like I'm sorry,
She's become that?
ma'am, sell your house.
Yeah, right. Become rich. Go somewhere else.
The show has been off the air for over a decade.
Yeah.
Sell your house.
Definitely.
Like, why did you even give permission to?
Because
this?
she didn't think it would be that huge.
Probably.
Okay, then you really made a mistake because there's no reason to do that in that case. But that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Or rent it out like
Do you
an
remember?
Airbnb.
Do you remember when he
There's-
brought home the pizza, and he was trying
never
to
seen it.
get into Skylar's life again with
Never seen
Junior?
it.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're not
Keep
coming in,
talking.
Walt. You're not coming in." And he took the pizza. He was so pissed, and he flung the box, and the pizza wound up on
the roof.
Right.
Do you know that was an accident,
That was
and it
an
took one
accident.
shot?
That was an accident.
Really?
He did it in one take, and they booked it.
He's so brilliant. He is
Brian
so brilliant.
Cranston. Brian Cranston.
Maz, can you tag me in on the Sopranos talk over
Come on,
here?
Freddie. Let's go
Tag
over
me
to
in.
oh,
Tag
over
me
to
in.
Freddie.
Freddie
Freddie,
felt.
Okay.
How'd you feel that Sunday night?
Instead of reading the chat, we'll go to
Let's
Freddie.
go to
Felt.
Freddie Felt.
Live and in person here from the studio. Yeah. No, this was the best day to come in studio. We're gonna start off with Sopranos.
Damn
talk.
right.
Are you kidding me? Ermanni and Maz on
Let's
the desk.
go, baby.
So of course, like everyone else, I was like, "Did you pay the cable bill?" Like, yeah, fade to black. But however, and this is in no way trying to be a contrarian or revisionist history. In the moment and thinking about it right after it happened, you're kind of mixed on how you felt, right? Am I in the minority thinking that was a genius move? Because what did Bobby Bacala say in the
On the
fishing boat?
In the fishing boat.
What do you think happens when you pass away?
I think it just goes to black.
Goes to black.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm curious to know what you thought was going to happen, Matt. Because
Yeah.
me personally, I thought Meadow was going to get whacked,
So did I.
and that's
So
how
did
it
I.
ended. Like, what's the most precious thing to Tony? To Tony,
Yep, his
it's
daughter.
whatever. It's kind of expected, but his daughter, I thought that would be the ultimate thing. But genius move, a genius show. To me, still, Breaking Bad is 1B, Sopranos is 1A. It's
David Chase.
the GOAT show.
I had an
David Chase is
opportunity to
genius.
talk to Bobby Bacala.
Oh, yeah.
And
Big Puss.
Big Puss. Thank you. I've had a,
Fox 2.
They've been in Fox 2 a couple of
Of course.
times for
I've
their.
been to their live show.
They've had the live show at Andiamo.
Yeah.
and,
Been there 3 times.
How was it?
It was great.
Yeah.
But, now it's starting to get long in the tooth because these guys, they're bored.
Right.
But they're making money.
Right.
And the Sopranos, they had their own podcast as well, and that skyrocketed. If you ever want to get a chance to listen to those guys on the podcast, that was really good too.
They keep telling stories, and one of the stories that they tell is how they all wanted raises, and Tony was in contract negotiations, and HBO was like, "We're going to pay Tony, but we're not going to pay any of you." And how he stepped up to the plate big time and said, "All of them get paid, or I walk."
Nice.
I love Jimmy.
Hey, Leno.
That's
When he died, I swear to God, I
You
felt
cried.
like I lost my a brother.
Yeah.
That's how much I love James Gandolfini. And I loved him as Tony Soprano, obviously. I just felt a kinship with him, man.
That's incredible,
Just felt
man.
a kinship with him. But it was a phenomenal show. And 18 years ago tonight, it all faded to black. And there's another show on HBO that tells the story. It's David Chase going over it and how he did it. And the more I watch that episode, the more I love it.
They never really revealed, though, what it was supposed to be. I think
it's up to you.
I think Big Puss said the audience got whacked.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's how
That's a
he
good one.
described it. The audience got whacked.
It's up to you how you want to look at it.
Exactly.
To me, if he was still alive, David Chase could have changed everything and brought The Sopranos back.
No doubt.
He could have.
It was the guy in the members only jacket.
It was.
It was the guy in the members only
Right.
jacket, Godfather style. Like
Yeah, matter of
he
fact,
alluded to it.
The first episode is called Members Only.
Exactly.
And the last episode is called Made in America.
I think
Bingo.
that's kind of one of the reasons why you do it that way. You know, with Breaking Bad, I thought it was so beautiful how every loose end was tied up.
It was
in
perfection.
the finale of Breaking Bad, but
including the song
exactly but
Baby Blue.
You did get the prequel and subsequently the sequel.
Yeah.
The final season of Better Call Saul
Loved
was after Breaking Bad.
Yes.
That was such a great lead up.
Better Call Saul to me is 1B. I loved Better. I think it bumps The Sopranos even.
Really?
I loved Better Call Saul, and of course, El Camino was the Jesse story.
Yeah.
After Breaking Bad, you got to watch them in that order: Breaking Bad, El Camino, and then you watch Better Call Saul. That's the way you
Remind
watch
me
them.
of El Camino. What happened in El Camino?
El Camino was
I remember watching it.
It was
but I don't
Jesse
remember.
finally escaping after Walt destroyed the
Yes.
bad guys.
Yes.
Jesse took off in that El Camino, which was what's his name? Jesse Pinkman. What was his name? His name in the episode.
Jesse Pinkman.
No, not Jesse Pinkman, but the guy that was that joined the gang and introduced them to his Uncle Jack.
I don't remember.
The blonde
Somebody
hair
in the
kid.
chat knows. Somebody
I know
in the
the
chat
actor.
knows.
I
Somebody
can't
on
think of
chat.
it.
Oh, I know. Who you're
Jesse
talking about.
Plemons was the actor.
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons
Oh,
was the
I know
actor.
who you're talking about.
Anyway, so he takes Jesse, and you see how he treated Jesse when they had him locked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then when they had him on a chain around his neck, around his legs.
Yes.
And he had to cook meth for them. So you saw a day in their life, and it was amazing how Jesse finally got to put some bullets in Todd.
Todd.
Jesse
Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons is
He's a
Todd.
really good bad guy.
He was a
All-time
good guy.
sociopath.
He
on-
was a
on the big
sociopath.
screen, yeah.
He is a really good bad. He's a sociopath in that Killers of the Flower Moon too. That
He's in that.
Robert De Niro.
Great acting,
And
man.
just the acting a little. Mike, love Mike.
Do you know he was supposed to be in one episode?
Really?
But he was so good that they're like, forget it. We got to keep him in there.
Speaking of that, do you know that? Do you watch Top Gun Maverick?
I never watched any Top Guns.
Oh my gosh! So
None?
Sorry, I've watched that.
You don't like Tom Cruise?
wow.
I do. I love Tom Cruise.
Tom
I just
Cruise.
never watched any of them.
But anyway, the Iceman character essentially in I forgot his name, but the Iceman character,
Val Kilmer?
not Val Kilmer, but like the new
Chat will
version.
get it. The chat will get it.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Hangman.
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 Hangman was going out to be Miles. What's the guy's name? The Miles.
You got me,
character.
man. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't watch
butchering
the
it.
movie.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Goose's son, right?
Yeah, but anyway, he went out for Goose's son's role,
Right.
And he was so good, but they gave it to the Miles kid that they added him in the movie. Is what I'm trying
Miles
to say.
Teller.
Miles Teller. Yeah. So either way, so it's all good, but
Someone else threw out Ozark, Michael Daniel.
look,
Ozark,
you know,
phenomenal.
another
Classic,
show. Look, listen, another show that gets a lot of love at times like this, and we would be remiss if we did not mention the Baltimore show that I'm watching.
Oh, Wire?
The Wire.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Anytime you
seen
mention The
any of these.
Sopranos, somebody's going to mention
know.
The Wire.
I know.
And I did start watching The Wire. Mario Lou at Fox 2 was like, you've got to watch The Wire. You've got to watch The Wire. So I watched The Wire. I watched season 1. I got into season 2, and then I just kind of stopped watching. It is so hard, and I'll probably get back at some point, but like my enjoyment in life is sitting outside on my couch and watching a ball game at night. I'm not watching anything at night anymore.
You can't watch that with the family.
I'm not watching. Yeah, you can't really look. You that language that they have in there. I'm not just saying swear words. A lot of words that I'd never want my kids to hear.
Yeah.
Are lobbed in that.
Well, my wife yelled at me the entire time I've watched anything. Lower the TV.
Right.
I don't want to hear that stuff. Meanwhile, I'm turning it up as high as you can.
My parents used to have to kick me out of the room to watch The Wire. That's
Yeah.
how I know.
But even but it's just so hard to go back pre HD, pre cell phone and have an appreciation for a television show like that. I guarantee you, if you've never seen The Sopranos before, you would not even think it's remotely any good like we think it's
Why
good.
do you say that?
Because you can't. It's a feeling that you have to be in. It's a shared experience that we all had back then. Even if we just watched it now, it would be fine.
Right.
You know?
I hear you.
Like, part of watching a television show, and Game of Thrones was like this, and there's the famous video, and I'll try to find it. Okay. It's a
Never watched that either.
It's a tweet, but the finale of Game of Thrones, not this new version, but the finale of Game of Thrones, there's an apartment building in New York, and every TV is watching it live. You can see the flashes from the window
Cool.
about, and you just, when a show is so popular as it's happening, and everybody has that shared experience, there's nothing like it.
Well, look at Seinfeld's finale in New York. Times Square was at a standstill.
Yeah.
Watching it on the marquees in Times Square. They were just
crazy.
staring up at it.
Sports is the only thing that gets close.
It is.
That's true.
It is.
But like TV shows, it's so rare. Especially now, it's so rare for everyone to be into
But
it.
it's like it gets close. I mean, you're talking about Cheers getting 84 million viewers.
Wild.
And MASH.
MASH. I mean, we got so excited for the Detroit Grand Prix, got 1,061,000.
Right. Right.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals got like 4 million.
Right.
Cheers, 84 million.
84, that's
Seinfeld, 95 million.
Crazy.
You know, I mean, think about these. These are Super Bowl type numbers for some of these television shows.
For Kramer.
I mean, it is wild. So,
Sorry we didn't talk sports, guys. But
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up. We did talk a little sports.
well, I mean,
Just
if
wanted
you
to bring
can't
it
get
up.
interested in that,
Television,
then, I mean,
to me is it's my true love.
Is it just me, fellas, or do I picture Ryan Ermanni walking into Fox 2 whistling the farmer in the dough like Omar? Everybody's like, oh man, it's Ermanni.
Omar
It's Ermanni's
coming.
coming.
Omar coming.
That's Freddie Felt, by the way, from the chat. Except he's live here. With
Oh
us.
my gosh. God,
Anson screwed him today.
that's right. And me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
Guys,
glad you're here.
that's right. Tigers talk, Lions talk. We've got it all coming for you. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
I was there. Ryan called me. I'm like, I'm in the parking lot. Just finished. Attention, sports fans. Do not miss out our expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday. That was today on Big D Energy, and then he joins us on the big show, usually on Thursdays. Make sure you get him. He'll keep you in the game, performing at your best. Obviously, I tell you a million times, I've got tennis elbow in both elbows. Don't think believe me, it's painful as all hell. And I'm getting great treatment, great physical therapy from Faith and Kara at Michigan Sports and Spine. They're in Livonia, right on Middle Belt, right off of 8 Mile. Give them a call, 248-426. Off of 7 Mile? 7 Mile. Thank you, Ricky.
Yeah, 7 miles.
By the way, that Carnival is folded up now.
Yeah,
Carnival's
it's gone. I
gone.
passed it the other day.
248-426-9944 or MichiganSportsAndSpine.com.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Hey, Tiger fans, join us for the White Claw Tigers Watch Party Tour. It's Woodward Sports. We're going to be hitting 4 of the top bars in Detroit. We already hit one. We're going to watch a Tigers game live on the network. Join the Woodward Heavies. You know who they are, Spencer and Easy. They've already hit McShane's Irish Pub. Nemo's is next, second best bar, and then Old Miami. Be part of the fun. See our reactions live on Woodward Sports Network to look at one of the hottest teams in the league. They are the best team in baseball. Join them next, right? Coming up here, this Friday, playing the Reds at home. The White Claw Watch Party brought to you by Easttown Distributors and Venn Johnson Law.
All right, and guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff like Gimme's on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Yes, sir.
The Detroit Tigers are wicked awesome.
Sir.
43-24 on the year. They begin a 3-game series with the Orioles in Baltimore tonight. The Orioles are playing much better baseball than they were at the start of the year. Baltimore climbed back to within 12 games of 500.
Isn't that something?
It is. They got off to a horrific start. And this is a team, Baltimore, that so many people projected as, after having the farm system that they have had, number one in the major leagues over the last couple of years, the young stars that they have had, Jackson Holiday most notably.
Gunnar Henderson.
He
was supposed to take a big step
all-star.
this year, and
Absolutely.
instead he took a big step backwards.
It just has not worked out for them. And I believe they had, at one point, an 8-game losing streak. They lost 12 of 13 games at one point.
The manager got fired.
Manager got fired.
That's right.
The Baltimore Orioles have now 7 of 8, 7 of 9
wow.
they've won.
Yep.
So starting to play some much better baseball, Baltimore. So it's going to be a different deal tonight.
Just a 3-game set, by the way.
It is a 3-game set. By the way, if you are, I know Anson is always peddling that pirating network.
Yes.
Stream East.
I am a pirate.
You will not have to do that on Thursday. Thursday's game is on Fox 2. Pregame starts at 5:30.
Way to do the right thing.
First pitch at 6:35. Brant Herter gets the start for Detroit tonight, so a little bit of a bullpen game for the Tigers tonight.
Orioles are favored.
Yep.
Orioles are minus 130 tonight.
Really?
Want to get the Tigers as an underdog off a day's rest? Tonight's the night.
Yeah, no doubt.
They at home tonight?
Yeah.
No,
No, they're
they're on the
away.
road.
Tigers are away.
Just a 3-game road trip.
They're
Then
in
you
the
come home.
bandbox.
Then they come home for the Reds. The Red Legs are in town.
Red Legs.
But you
Red
look at
Stockings.
the Yankees have a 4-game lead. Houston has a 3-game lead. The Mets have a 4-game lead. The Cubs have a 4-game lead.
Yep.
The Dodgers have a 1.5 lead. Oh, yeah, the Tigers have a 7-game lead.
Amazing.
Nice.
They are the biggest division leader in terms of games ahead from their next closest competition. I'm not saying the division's in the bag in early June, but thankfully, if you're the Tigers, you are in the position that you want to be. They top Major League Baseball's power rankings,
About
and
that,
rightfully so.
Do you ever think you'd see that in June?
I haven't, but I mean, if you look at the balance of power, and I think this is a good graphic to leave up for a second
You got
here,
it, buddy.
Pete. Look at the balance of power in the American League. Of the top 10 teams in Major League Baseball, 3 of them are in the American League.
That's not too good.
Number 4 is the Yankees,
Yeah.
and number 8 is the Houston Astros. And that's why I always go back to this. The expectation has changed for the Tigers because there is no juggernaut that you're going to face in October to get to the World Series.
That's a fact.
There's just, I mean, the Yankees lineup isn't even one that consists of Juan Soto anymore. I mean, Garrett Cole, he's
done.
out.
He's done.
He's
Yeah.
done.
He's toast.
So there's nobody that really scares you. Houston has had so many guys leave that organization. How they're kind of just hanging on to first place. They have reinvented themselves and retooled a little bit, but Houston is nowhere near
What they used to be.
exactly the World
Right.
Series champion Houston Astros.
They
And
still
there's-
have Altuve. Hunter Brown is fantastic from Lakeview and St. Clair Shores. But, there's nobody that's a juggernaut. If you play the Yankees, just walk Judge.
right.
Pitch to anyone else, just walk Judge. Boston made a mistake the other day, hit 2 home runs against them, but they still dominated that game. But the Red Sox, they're a scary team, but they can't pitch. And they've
Cleveland
got
is your team, too.
and they got
That's-
defensive problems. Cleveland is your pain in the neck to the Tigers.
Yeah.
Hope they don't make the wild card or something. Hope they fade or something. You don't want to really have to mess with those guys. They just seem to have our number.
At this rate, you wouldn't see. Well, you might, potentially. But and then there's another aspect to this Tigers team, and of course, there's the Riley Greens and the Spencer Torkelsons and the Javi Baezes, all these players that have stepped up. Obviously, Tarek Skubal, Casey Mize is another one. All guys that have been here, though. You look at who Scott Harris has brought and signed to this team in the offseason. If you want to look at why the Detroit Tigers are where they are right now, look no further than, of course, the development within the organization internally with some of the guys that they've had that I just mentioned, but also, Jack Flaherty signed in the offseason. Where would this team be without Gleyber Torres?
Yeah.
Gleyber Torres has been fantastic, and Tommy Kahnle.
We all laughed at them. I laughed at their free agent class. And Pete, did you put up those free agents
did.
before?
Yep.
But the 3 guys that they signed, Flaherty, Kahnle, and Gleyber Torres, have all they're the 3 keys. They were great signings, all 1-year deals basically, except Jack Flaherty's got I think a 2-year deal and an option.
after one. So it's
after
essentially
So
a 1-year
it
deal.
is. They're all 1-year deals, and that's the new latest craze now in baseball. Too bad that wasn't the craze in football. Otherwise, the Lions could go out and get Trey Hendrickson,
Right.
or a guy like that. By the way, did you see this is Darius Smith?
Yeah.
He was at the BET
BET
Awards,
Awards.
and he's like, "Hey, I want to go home. I want to be in Detroit. I want to play for the Lions," which was pretty damn nice to hear. And
No doubt.
We both said that he's going to be here. I
But he
think, matter of
did-
fact, you predicted he will be here.
I have more confidence that Zadarius Smith will be here in Detroit than Alex Anzalone.
Yeah.
That's what I said
that's what you
yesterday.
said.
But the magic words are for less. He has to end it with for less money. Then they don't sign him.
His girlfriend's got money.
Cash.
Yeah.
Cash doll.
We'll move on. This
She
is
got
that
a
type
few.
of show.
But yeah, I mean, you go back to Gleyber Torres. I think this guy's been tremendous. I think we all, especially you, Maz, knowing the Yankees
It's Gleyber Day.
The way you know the Yankees, I think it was an afterthought when they signed him that this is a guy that really isn't going to give you much.
I want to keep him now.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big name in spirit just because of the team that he is coming from, but Gleyber Torres isn't going to give you much, and he's giving you everything and then some.
And Kerry Carpenter's been fantastic, and the catch he made the other day to save a home run, to save that game for Skubal. Then he makes a throw, gets a guy at the plate. He had a great weekend, and I'm looking forward to Kerry Carpenter playing more and more as the year went on. By the way, did you see the catch that kid at the Oakland A's made yesterday?
Derek,
I know it's not the Oakland A's, but I'm calling him the Oakland A's.
Darren Clark. I've never seen anything like it.
He
I don't know if
literally
we can play it or not. Can we play it?
I'll find it. Let me see if I
I'll
can.
send it to you.
Half
I'll put it
his
on
body.
MLB. It's on MLB.
They said the ball was 5 feet from the wall.
half his body is over the wall.
Yeah.
And I saw who was our guy that went over the wall? Torrey Hunter went over the wall, of course, in the ALCS to lose to the Red Sox. And, of course, they made a bobblehead out of the cop and Torrey Hunter going over that. He said that was the greatest catch he's ever seen in the history of baseball. And this kid, the A's have a lot of talent, good young talent. If they only had a place to actually play Major League Baseball. They're playing in Sacramento. It's like a double-A park. It's awful. What Manfred did to that team, what that owner did to that team, it's an absolute shame. Anyway, it was an amazing catch, and we'll get that out for you in case you didn't see it.
Give me a quick
It's
second.
everywhere. It's the greatest catch, not of this year, but in years.
I think
Let's
it's
all watch together.
And this one to center field.
Bring the volume down.
Bring the volume
we don't
down.
Need
the
her.
volume's not that
She's
great.
the worst.
Now that doesn't do it justice. Watch the replays.
Yeah.
Watch this is where you get up. And I love the hitter too. I don't know who is. I love the hitters.
Look
like
at he
really
in disbelief.
We've never
the
seen
replay.
anything. This is you'll never see another catch like this. He goes full Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like
insane.
And he puts a divot in the wall.
It's like one step on the wall though. Never seen anything like that.
That's nuts.
In all my years of watching
Honestly.
baseball, I've never. That's stuff you dream about, I think, in Little League. Like, I'm going to climb this fence and try to catch that ball. But, crazy.
That's insane.
Are you disappointed a little bit, just while we're talking a little baseball for a bit, are you disappointed with where the Dodgers are right now, Maz?
No, I wish they'd be worse.
I mean, I know. But is that a situation where they are just so bored?
They're bored,
playing?
and don't forget, they lost a couple of arms. They lost like 3 starting pitching, and I'm so happy about that, by the way. The more injuries they have, the better for me, them and the Red Sox.
You celebrate injuries.
I'm sorry.
So fun.
I will celebrate injuries to the Dodgers and to the Red Sox. But yeah, no, they're bored. They're playing the Padres. Who won last night? The Dodgers or Padres?
Dodgers.
They won. That's going to be a heck of a series. That's going to be a good series. But they're making the playoffs.
I mean,
they're making the
baseball
playoffs.
is so good right now. Just look at the National League alone. You've got 5 teams that are so dominant in any other year. If you go Dodgers, Padres, Cubs, Phillies, and who am I forgetting?
The Giants.
The Giants are pretty good, but
Mets.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Mets.
How could I forget
Phillies.
the Mets?
How could I forget the Mets?
And the Braves are having a down year.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a second half scare. The Braves always find a way
Well,
to do it in the
Acuna's
second
back,
half.
and he's
Yep.
playing real well.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he's the key to that team. Plus, they need some arms.
No doubt.
They need some arms. Hey, I got something for you guys.
Sure.
I want to talk about Dave Burkett put out a terrific column today. It was a couple days ago. It's his Lions all-century team. And he goes position by position on the offense. All right, so we're going to go through it with you. I'll give you a choice. As your quarterback for the all-century team,
Oh, okay.
Century.
I'm going to give you a call.
choice?
I'm going to give you a choice.
You give us a little music here, Ricky?
Yeah, I got you.
A little mood
Lion
music?
fans.
Lions fans.
I can only do one at a time. The system only
Okay,
lets me do one at a time.
2000 to 2025. You got to take everything into consideration.
Okay.
Winning the division, making the playoffs, and just being good. Matthew Stafford, your number 1 pick, overall number 1 pick, or the Rams' number 1 all-time pick, Jared Goff. Who's your quarterback? I go around the room. Ryan, I start with you.
It's not even close.
Hold on. Want me to read what Dave Burkett says? Dave Burkett, Matthew Stafford. He says he gets the edge over Goff for the totality of his Lions career. The number 1 overall pick in 2009 threw for 45,109 yards in Detroit, led the team to 3 playoff appearances, no wins, holds the franchise single-season record for yards, attempts, completions, and touchdowns. Goff, one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL, one of the best in the NFL in 23 and 24, but he doesn't have the longevity. He does have the postseason success yet to surpass Stafford in the rankings. What say you?
I believe Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer. I don't think that Jared Goff is a Hall of Famer yet. So just based on where we are today, not projecting where these two will go in their career, not projecting the rest of Goff's career, today I have to agree Matthew Stafford is the all-century quarterback. Sorry.
Pete, I go to you.
You got it, buddy. I'm going to fight you guys a little bit on this one. I'm going to go with Jared Goff only for the fact that probably Stafford has better numbers. Definitely Stafford has the ring, but I think that Jared Goff, in the end, Jared Goff will end up being a better quarterback. And right now, if he can lead the Lions to the NFC, at least the NFC Championship, and get them into the Super Bowl, that right there automatically would make him better than Matthew Stafford.
And this is for Lions, guys. This is the Lions all-century team.
Yep,
Ricky, I go to you. As a late arriving Lion fan.
Yeah, I really hate this question, but I gotta go with Matt Stafford because the longevity, watching him play for those 12, 13 years, and watching what he played through. And let's be real, he made it to the big dance and he won.
Yeah. I'll say this, man. They were traded for each other, and it sucks. But if Stafford was here, I think they win the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I do. But the trade made this team to what it is.
Doesn't happen.
Without the trade, we're nothing.
Right.
We're nothing.
Let's go back and forth here. Running back number 1, RB1. Ready, Maz?
I am.
Running back, such a tough position in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Stop.
Stop.
I said stop. Players just don't last long here anymore. In fact, just 5 Lions have rushed for more than 2,000 yards since 2000. Right. Gibbs ranks 3rd on that list with 2,357 yards, and unlike the others, Kevin Jones, James Stewart, Kevin Smith, and Joique Bell, he's widely regarded as one of the best backs in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs, we all agree.
Oh, this is a landslide victory by Jahmyr Gibbs, who I think is the best running back in football to this day. Right now, in the last 2 years, give me Jahmyr Gibbs, and I look forward to what he's going to bring to this team. Although they lost the best run-blocking center and guard in Ragnow and Zeitler. We hope whoever replaces Ragnow, whoever it is almost as good as him. And I don't know. I think it affects Gibbs' numbers going forward.
So let me ask you about this next one. You ready? I would have never thought about this. James Stewart.
Hey, Jimmy Stewart.
James Stewart played 3 seasons with the Detroit Lions.
Took over for Barry.
Picked Stewart over Jones for the second running back spot on this team because he had 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons, 2000 and 2002. Jaguar. Jones had 1. Stewart's 1,184 yards in 2000 are second most by any Lions back since Barry Sanders, and he might have had an even better Lions career had the team held him out of his preseason game against Buffalo in 2001.
How dumb was that when he got hurt? And that was the end of that. That was the end of the Bobby Ross experiment.
You forget how good James Stewart was for the Detroit Lions.
He fit in beautifully. Where'd they get him from? The Jags?
Jaguars. He used to be a number 1 in his first 2 years.
Jags or Panthers?
He was like a number 1 first or second round pick from many fantasy players.
I almost would have gone Monty here.
Yeah,
that's close.
Even though it's only been 2 years.
I mean,
how do you not pick him?
Seriously, in Jamal Williams.
That's who I was thinking of when he
No
first
way.
No,
Jamal
not,
Williams.
not as one, but
He was a 1 yard back.
He was one of the ones that popped in my head as I was thinking about it.
He's
Here's the
touchdown
deal.
Tommy Vardell.
Here's the deal.
Tommy.
If you're just going based on stats, who had better stats than 17 touchdowns for Jamal Williams?
He literally tied Barry.
That's what, like, if I'm picking, I am going with Monty.
I am as well.
David Montgomery is the second best running back that the Lions have had in the last 25 years.
And they're both here
Right now.
right now.
I would have gone Monty, and I would have gone Williams over Stewart.
Okay. Interesting.
I think you're just thinking about now. You know what I mean? About the last 5 years.
I was about to say it's not.
You forgot about James Stewart.
Yeah, but 1,100 yards, like you're using the argument that had 2,000-yard rushing seasons. That doesn't mean anything anymore. That's
Right.
the only. You're not
Because there's 17 games.
exactly. Well, even if there's 16 games, 1,000 yards is what, 70 yards a game?
That's still pretty good.
I mean, it's fine to be on an all-century team.
Right.
Just goes to show you how bad this team's running situation was over
been
the
horrible.
years.
It's been horrible.
Specifically with Matthew
It's been horrible. That just shows you what O.J. Simpson did, okay? 2,000 yards in 14 games.
So you gotta be specific.
All right? 2,000 yards in 14 games for the Juice.
Right.
That's why I always put the Juice in my top 5.
Stephen Baffey, Theo Riddick, underrated. He was underrated.
Yeah, but he wasn't a bell cow. He was an off. He was a third down guy.
He was a poor man's Jameer Gibbs.
Poor man's good. Yeah.
I don't know about that even. Here's a Javid Best from Steve Baffey.
I thought about
Javid Best, man, on that Monday night game.
Never forget it.
What did he run? Was that a 90-yard run?
Yeah, they dropped on his head.
Then he dropped on his head. And he came in with concussion problems from Cal. And what a shame, because he could have been a guy.
Yeah.
He really could have been a guy.
Dropped
I'll
on
throw
his
one
head.
out there that we're missing. What happened to Reggie Bush? He could have. I mean,
Detroit
his
loves Bush.
ceiling could have been, obviously Hall of Fame when he was drafted.
Speaking of Hall of Fame, Calvin Johnson, no doubter, right?
That's
So
easy.
probably move on.
Yeah, you're right.
Megatron.
Wide receiver 2. Is there any doubt about this one? Amon-Ra St.
Yes.
Brown.
The Saints.
No doubter.
No doubt.
Saints.
Yeah, I see.
All right. How about this?
Now wait, you throw the other names that he has in there.
Golden Tate,
Yeah.
Roy Williams, Marvin Jones. First version of Marvin Jones. Not last
Not
version
number 0 version.
of Marvin Jones. But, yeah, I mean, Roy Williams, Golden Tate was fantastic. Yeah, but got to be Amon-Ra, right?
That's
no
got to be
question.
Amon-Ra.
One of the best wide receivers right now.
Absolutely.
The Lions, man. Woo.
Brandon Pettigrew. Brandon Pettigrew is the all-century Lions tight end. Sam Laporta had a dynamic rookie season, was very productive last year before a hamstring injury. By the time his career is said and done, he'll go down as the best Lions tight end since Charlie Sanders. But Pettigrew had a productive 5-year stretch to start his career and has the second most catches of any tight end in Lions history. So, yeah, I mean, Pettigrew, and of course that 14 team that was Pettigrew was fantastic.
They were robbed.
And in fact, I think the penalty flag was picked up.
Yeah, that was on him.
On Pettigrew.
Yeah. Pettigrew caught that ball and he was interfered with.
Unbelievable.
And then, of course, Des Bryant ran on the field to top it off, which is another penalty that they neither called. But that still gives me nightmares. That game gives me nightmares because at the end of that game, that's when Ndamukong Suh cried at the podium and knew it was his last game as a Lion. And that was it for that bunch of guys.
The regime.
And that was a damn good team.
Yeah.
That was Calvin Johnson's chance
That was his last
to get to a Super Bowl because they would have played the Packers the following week.
Yeah.
And who knows? They could have beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and gotten to the Super Bowl.
Any argument for T.J. Hawkinson, guys?
Not long enough.
Not long enough?
Hawk was good, though. Surprised he wasn't mentioned in here.
Not good enough. Offensive line. I'm going to do.
Want to do the offensive line after the break? Or do you want to just roll it?
Sure.
All right?
Let's do it.
All right.
It's you.
Like
Because
that.
there are some discussion points.
Yeah.
Here. There are some discussion points. We'll do that. But first, the message from Planet Fitness.
The guy that usually sits in this chair actually goes to Planet Fitness. Now, listen. I walked in there yesterday. I did. Just wanted to check it out and get in a massage chair if I could. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, more than 50 in Metro Detroit, thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym, ton of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally, here's the thing, judgment-free atmosphere. They'll even look at me and say, yeah, good for that guy. Did you know all Planet Fitness memberships include the fitness training for no extra cost? You want to upgrade to the Black Card, you get the massage chairs, the total body enhancement, and more. Over 2,500 locations worldwide, unlimited guest privileges. For more, visit your local Planet Fitness or go to planetfitness.com.
Yeah, and I know you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch. Let's get some new merch, man. Shop.woodwardsports.com is the website you need to go to. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check it out right now. Hoodies, tees, hats, everything. All guaranteed to turn heads. Everyone's going to be asking you, where did you get that? Where'd you get that Tiger shirt? Where'd you get that Lions hoodie? Did you get Red Wings shirt? Shop.woodwardsports.com is where you need to go. Shop.woodwardsports.com for all of your Detroit sports merch. There's no other place to go. We'll be right back.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Sports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Oh, yeah, everybody. You know what time it is. It is time to scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward1000, to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. And when you do so, make your first deposit and your first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward1000, to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. Gentlemen.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Maz away. Braylon out today. He'll be back tomorrow. Anson will be in tomorrow as well. Ricky Burns.
Spin the wheel tomorrow.
Spin the wheel tomorrow.
Freddie Felt is here, but I think he went to the men's room.
He went to the men's room.
He's been in there for a couple of minutes, I believe.
Hey, go to he might have found Stick.
Yeah, he might have.
Go to Pete for some chat and on the Lions 25th on the Lions All-Century team.
You got it, guys. Real quick. Hey, shout out $2 from Matthew Kruger. Appreciate that, Matt. And sorry it took a little while there, but who's better? Matthew is asking everybody here. Who's better, guys? Hideo Nomo or Dontrell Willis?
Nobody better. Nobody better than. Let me use my Harry Carey voice.
Hi.
Hideo Nomo.
Hey.
It's Hideo Nomo. I'm about for.
He was about 6 buds in.
Oh my gosh!
God.
One of my favorite Harry Carey stories. Watching obviously Harry Carey, Steve Stone.
They were great.
Oh, there's nobody like it. Steve Stone does the White Sox.
I know, I
broadcast.
love him.
It's still different for me to see him do the White Sox because I remember him.
But he was a White
as
Sox.
Right. So anyway, it was snowing out in April or something like that, and watching the Cubs WGN at home, and Harry Carey says, "You know what, Stoney?" He's like, "Budweiser makes a Bud Light, a Bud Dry.
But dry.
How about making a Budweiser hot for a cold day like today?"
Tell me you're alcoholic.
He
without
just
telling me you're
is like-
alcoholic.
Hey, I've got 4 Harry Carey T-shirts at home. I love them. I wear them.
Oh,
He was
man.
my guy. My guy.
God.
Kids today just don't understand.
Oh, they don't
get
get
it.
it.
Don't get.
So,
All right,
go ahead, Pete. Tell us some All-Century
Pete, you got
stuff.
any more all-century stuff, or just
No,
Dontrell
I was
Willis?
just wanting to throw that up. We're
Oh,
good.
That's great, Pete.
That's
Very
all.
good. Good
That's all
one
you
to
need.
pick. Good one to pick. All right, so we're
That's
gonna
it?
go.
You're not going to read any other ones?
That's
No,
the last one. That's the only one that we had. That, I wish.
No, but I wasn't reading just the Super Chats, Pete. I was reading the entries for the All-Century team.
Oh, I am so sorry. I thought you wanted me to read just the super chats, my friends.
Why don't you get the chat involved
The
here?
chat
today,
involved.
Pete?
Well, Matthew
What-
Kruger also says Charles Rogers was not good except his first year and a half. And was Tony Scheffler wide receiver or a tight end? Also asked Matthew
Tight end.
Kruger. China Virus, Herman Moore, Johnny Morton over Nate. And Charlie Sanders, best Lions tight end by Scott Wielenga.
I know, but we're doing the All-Century team in the 2000s.
Yeah. So Barry Sanders was the best running back too,
Yes,
but he
Of
didn't
course.
play
I'm just reading what the
2000s.
chat says.
since 2000.
Okay.
So very good.
Yeah,
All right,
let's
very
move
good.
on.
Let's go to the offensive line. Dave Burkett of the Free Press.
Okay,
This is his All-Century team.
let's do this. 2 guys, it's a lock.
Gotcha.
Right? Penei Sewell,
Yep.
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Don't even need to say anything more than that. And Frank Ragnow.
Yes.
Although he does have Dominic Raiola.
I always bring up Dom.
203 starts trumps Ragnow. Ragnow started less than 100 games. But Ragnow was a 3-time second-team All-Pro, widely regarded one of the game's best centers during his time in the league. And again, it's not what's Lions good, it's what's NFL good.
Right.
And Ragnow trumps Raiola every time.
Yes.
Right?
And twice on Sunday.
So, okay, those are the ones we agree on. Now, here are some ones I do think you can look at, okay? Taylor Decker.
Yes.
Let me read what he has for Taylor Decker, because the name that he mentions I was going to pick.
Of course. Poor guy played with some bad teams.
Yes. Wrestled with this and a couple other offensive line positions, but gave Decker the edge over Jeff Backus.
Yes. The Iron Man.
The Iron Man, who started 186 straight games at left tackle and was underappreciated in his career. Decker started 126 games to Backus's 191. He doesn't have quite the same durability, but he has 1 Pro Bowl. As an alternate for Sewell last year, Backus has 0 and played at a slightly higher level for his career. I would have gone Jeff Backus here. I think that the recency bias with
Well, you're
Taylor-
going Michigan over Ohio State.
No, I'm not.
All right.
I am going if Taylor Decker played his career in the era, or excuse me, if Jeff Backus played his career, if they swapped eras, Backus would be clearly the guy that would be far and away better than Decker.
Clearly?
Clearly. Decker, you forget, winning cures all. Taylor Decker was not widely thought of as a very good left tackle for this team prior to the last 3 years.
Correct. That's because of the winning. And now has changed
Exactly.
our mind.
Exactly.
He happens to be part of one of the best offensive lines that we've had in a long time.
No disrespect to Taylor Decker, but I think when you're comparing the two, Backus gets lost because of all the losing they
Correct.
did.
You hit it on the head.
That's
Good call. Good call.
That's it.
I'll read a friend of ours. Rob Sims comes in at the guard. 2010 to 2014 from Ohio State. Sims started every game at left guard for the Lions for 5 seasons and was a key player on a line that helped the team make 2 playoff appearances. The Lions stole him in a trade from the Seahawks for defensive end Robert Henderson in a swap of late-round draft picks. Rob Sims now, of course, partners with the great Calvin Johnson in their stuff now. But Rob Sims, I think, is an excellent pick there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just can't even think. I mean, Graham Glasgow, the first time around, there's really not. Stephen Peterman, was he?
Yeah, he was left guard or right guard.
Yeah.
Right guard.
The Lions have
You
sucked so bad.
you forget about the guards always.
Yeah.
On the O line.
I can't even think of a guard, to be
Right,
honest with you,
right.
to be like,
You
oh,
forget
yeah.
about it.
Right.
This guy belonged there. I mean, I remember we took like Laken Tomlinson.
Oh yeah. That's
Remember?
right.
First round pick.
He didn't work out.
Nope. He worked out for the 49ers better than he did for us. But he was on a
did.
few teams.
He went to the Super Bowl
Yeah,
with them.
of course. That always happens.
Exactly.
The Lions. The War Daddy got a call here on the right guard. Larry Warford, 2013 to 2016.
Oh, look, it's Peterman's mentioned
There
here.
he is.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Okay.
you can read it. 13 different primary starting right guards.
Yeah, Stephen Peterman, the only players to hold the spot more than 2 consecutive full years. Larry Warford over Peterman. Graham Glasgow. Damian Woody, who never lived up to the free agent billing. Warford started all 4 seasons as a third-round pick, made it to 3 Pro Bowls after signing top of the market with the New Orleans Saints. You know, you forget about all of these really good players that the Lions had in their organization. I mean,
that they gave away.
Hell, Jeff Backus might have been seen as a Hall of Famer
Yeah,
if he was in this era of Detroit Lions football.
Instead, he was known as Jeff Sackus.
Jeff Sackus.
Like Jeff Garcia,
Exactly.
John Kitna.
Oh, Kitten the Caboodle.
Oh, man.
Oh, they had some good ones.
We made so much.
Didn't we have
fun.
Stony Case, too? Was Stony Case
Oh,
in the
my
20s?
God.
He
Stony
might have been in the
Case.
19s.
Isn't that something?
So let's go. This is, again, Dave Burkett's all-century team for the Lions. We'll go to the defensive side. Although this guy hasn't played a lot, defensive end, it's Aiden Hutchinson, obviously. 39 games played.
Yes.
But easily the most dominant Lions edge rusher during this
Maz,
period.
Go through them and see if we can find some other players in our minds.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Hutch, you could compare him to Ansah, Averill, and Porsche.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Ziggy
Yeah.
Ansah?
Oh yeah.
Ziggy
Ooh,
Ansah
Robert
comes
Porsche,
in.
you might be talking to.
Yeah.
Hey, this is 1B. Ziggy Ansah. He's got him on here.
Wow.
2013 to 18. As mentioned, Averill and Porsche both have strong cases for inclusions, but I gave Ansah the edge for sacks production. A big 2015. I forgot he had 14 and a half sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and a second-team All-Pro nod. He is the only line with multiple double-digit sack seasons this millennium.
Wow.
Ziggy Ansah. Underrated.
I feel you. I hear you.
My guy, defensive tackle from Nebraska, a guy that was misunderstood just because he stepped on a few people's, feet and hands. Ndamukong
Oh,
Suh.
Riley Reef. Michael DeVries threw out Riley Reef.
Ndamukong Suh, guys. He was a three-time first-team All-Pro selection. He might be in the Hall of Fame one day. This is what Dave Burkett is saying. Sean Big Baby Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
And we've
Big
heard
baby.
Braylon speak about this guy. This guy was a freak athlete.
Yeah, he was.
He just basically ate himself out of the league. And 2001 to 2007, Rogers ranks 19th on the Lions' all-time list with 29 sacks, 5th again on the defensive tackles.
Agree.
You like Big Baby?
I do like Big Baby. Sue and Big Baby. Although, who was the other guy next to Sue? Was it, dang.
Wasn't Snacks Harrison, was it?
No, it wasn't Snacks
Well,
Harrison.
he's got Levy in here, too.
No. Man, really good player. What is...
Bring up that team. Bring up the 2014 Lions.
Hold on. I got to find it now.
Yeah, bring him up.
2014.
Still talking about.
Lions. Who was next to Sue?
Still talking about Sue and who was next to him. That was a good line, man.
It was great.
That was a good team, that 2014.
It was a great
2013, 2014, 2015 team. They were good.
DeAndre Levy. I don't know, Maz. I can't. I feel like he went to Auburn.
Nick Fairley.
Oh, yeah.
You got it. I got it. Nick Fairley.
Nick Fairley.
That was good.
That was a good defensive line.
Damn. Breaks my heart to think about this.
Yeah.
He's got DeAndre Levy in there at linebacker, 2009 to 16. One of the best off-ball linebackers for a stretch before injuries shortened his career and before he started riding on the outside of airplanes. Did you ever see DeAndre Levy?
What?
Oh, yeah.
He literally hugged the cockpit on the outside of a plane as it's flying.
Thank
He's
God
a
you said
daredevil.
Pitt.
Daredevil.
What is he, Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have done Mission Impossible.
I believe you.
He could have
Freddie
done.
Felt, what do you think of Dave Burkett's all-century team
So far.
I think of a lot of memories. As a Pontiac native with a little bit of gray in my chin, some of those teams caused the gray, but I agree with Matt. Some of those names, it's like you think about what could have been some of those years.
Weigh
Especially
in on
with
the
that
Jeff
defense.
Backus debate.
The back, sack us. What could have been.
Good stuff. All right, what else you
Steven
got?
Tully.
Love Tully.
You know how Tully's career ended? I remember it. After a
Tully.
sack, was it Favre or Rodgers? I think he sacked Rodgers.
Oh, did he celebrate?
And he celebrated.
Yeah, I remember
Came
that.
down
Yep.
on his knee, and that was it.
That was
Blew
it.
out his knee.
Never
that was
played
it for
again.
that year.
Isn't that something?
And that was it for
Crazy.
Tully.
Still
one of the most loved Lions, though. Right?
Even-
Still,
Oh, I
still a
remember
Detroit
that.
guy.
Man, that's crazy.
Alex Anzalone. Stephen Boyd had the single best qualifying season of any
I'd have went
linebacker
Stephen
named
Boyd
Levy.
there.
He's
Nah.
got Chris Claiborne in there as well. Chris Claiborne.
Oh, boy.
Was in there.
Chris
Claiborne.
No
Claiborne.
slouch.
out of
Ooh,
USC.
Claiborne.
2000 to 2002.
USC, baby.
Dang. I would have went with Jack Campbell.
Jack Campbell?
I
Not
think
yet.
so. I think you're right.
Seriously?
Not yet.
Jack Campbell, seriously. What about the defensive backfield, Baz?
We go to the corners. Darius Slay, of course. We don't have to say much about him.
Slay.
Big play.
3 Pro Bowls and a first-team All-Pro in 17, and then we traded him for a third-round pick. Thank you, Matt Patricia. Dre Bly.
Bly.
Dre Bly was here when I was on the mic at Ford Field.
Really?
I was. I got to.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got to
the
announce
press,
his name.
The press box or
No, I was on the real deal.
Really?
Yeah, I was on. I was
How
the
did
PA
you
guy.
say it? Do you remember how you
Yeah,
said it?
of course.
How did
I
you
even
say it?
told him when we had him on the air. I said to him, "Hey, do you remember the public address announcer?" He's like, "Yeah, I remember that guy." I'm like, "That was me," because he was the last guy we would announce. And I would say, "From North Carolina, number 32, Dre Bly." The place would be so loud you couldn't even hear me.
Oh, my gosh.
But I did the out of North Carolina.
Who does the PA now?
A good guy.
He's very good.
He's very good. I don't know his name. I do follow him on Twitter,
Uh-huh.
but I couldn't figure out his name to find him on Twitter.
Oh, my
but he's
God.
very good. They got a good guy. And then Anthony Bellino does the on-field
Yeah.
stuff. And Anthony's a great guy. Works at JR
Yes,
as well.
he does.
And does sports rap with Lomas Brown, as a matter of fact. So Bellino does the on-field.
That's so
But
great.
Ford Field's got it going now. Your safeties, you'll know these guys. Kirby Joseph. I don't got to say anything about him.
Brian
That's
Branch
right,
in there,
Brian
too.
Branch.
Glover Quinn.
Oh,
God.
I love
Hey,
Glover
whoa,
Quinn.
whoa,
Brian
that's a
Branson did
Glover,
not make it.
Sesame Street.
He's like
Brian
Joseph's.
Branch didn't make it?
He said Joseph's secondary mate, Brian Branch, has a claim to be on this list.
Richard
But with
Walker says Bryant Westbrook should be in there.
Westy.
There you go.
With
What-
2
where's the great-
seasons only, I could not put Branch over Joseph or Quinn. And your kicker? Who else?
Jason
Hansen.
Hansen.
Jason Hansen from 2000 to 2012. Nobody was more money.
Who was the punter?
Than
Sam
that guy.
Martin or
No.
Jack
Jack
Fox?
Fox.
Jack Fox,
Jack
the
Fox
punter.
has to be the
Hey,
punter.
shout out Eddie Murray though.
Wasn't Dre
Hey,
Bly a
throwback
member
there.
of
Yeah, but he's way back.
the greatest
Yeah.
show
Oh,
on
Nick,
turf as well?
Nick Harris, a fine punter in the 2000s, but Jack Fox, the
Maz.
winner.
Mark Carrier Blades. So this is just from 2000 on, gang. So nobody from the 90s or the 80s or any of those great Lions. There's no doubt about this. So a fun list to
How
talk
about the
about.
long
great-
snapper?
Don Muhlbach?
Yes. And what happened to him? Cut on his birthday. And
40.
the kick returner, punt returner, Jamal Agnew.
Oh, my gosh.
What about the great Terry Fair?
Great stuff by Dave Burkett.
Just in the meantime, I do think it's worth pointing out, last night at the BET Awards, and Maz, you glossed over this, but there's something about our city specifically, and I think this is maybe for a lot of smaller markets. When there is a player in any league that says they want to be on your team, that is the best way, the biggest way to get some fanfare involved in the likelihood that you play. I mean, I feel like there's a groundswell of people here in our city that want Zadarius Smith to be on this team, not only because he's a good player, but because we want people who want to be here. Just look at Alex Bregman, the dichotomy between
We hate him.
what Alex Bregman did to the Tigers and what Zadarius Smith is doing to the Lions. He is begging the Lions to re-sign him and to come home and play here for the Detroit Lions. And Bregman, you know, went months and strung along the Detroit Tigers and then broke our hearts.
He's an SOB.
In the
Cost
end.
us another third base.
And I do think for a lot of fans, and maybe I'm overstating this, let me know. Get it in the chat. I do think that matters to Detroit sports fans when you know there's a player out there that clearly wants to be on your team. I just do.
Agreed. And I told you yesterday, I love this guy because I just love the way he fits this team, the way he loves our city. And you never saw him without a smile on his face. And I want to give him a chance with a full defensive team. I want to see him with Aiden Hutchinson on the other side, with all the other guys that were out, 22 guys on the defensive side of the ball out last year. So he was left on an island, and we've already discussed this. He's not a 1, he's a 2. He's a 2.
And that's where he's excelled.
He's excels in that.
Put him on the weak side.
Like there are hosts, there are co-hosts, and there are 3 guy. I'm a 3 guy. I like being a 3 guy. You love being a 2 guy.
I love being a 2 guy.
There's only a few guys that are 1s. Sean Belizean, he's a 1.
Sean's a 1.
He can do a show on his own. It's the same thing. Ricky, you're a 1 as a DJ. You took our job at 105.1. We can say that.
It was offered.
It was offered. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. But yeah, there are 1, 2s, and there's 3s.
I love being a 2 in sports.
I'm a 5.
Yes.
I'm
You're
a
a good
5.
one.
I think what
You're a
people,
good one on the news. And,
I think
and
what people
fun.
don't understand is this is, relatively speaking, to talk sports, the appreciation I have for people who are able to talk sports for 5 days a week. It's like you know, the sports people down on the radio. I'm not going to mention their names.
Yeah, what about?
But they talk more than half their show is not about sports.
Right.
Yeah, no.
They have
There's a-
4 hours to kill.
There's a
Right.
reason for that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I do have an appreciation for that. Why don't you talk sports? Why don't you?
Especially
talk
during the summer
sports? I
months.
do have an appreciation for that because there's just there's nothing to talk about.
Hey, best pretzel. Hey, whatever.
Anybody
Yeah,
could
okay.
do anybody could do a show for one day.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
you
well,
do a compelling
exactly.
show for 5 straight days?
There you
Right.
go. That was my pitch. I always teach interns that when I was in radio. Like, hey, you know, it's different to be doing it on the weekends or doing a full complete show 5 days a week. You have to understand that difference.
And
Yeah.
hey, look, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I will. It's also difficult for a host to come in, do a sports show without, I don't know, without someone putting a show together.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Because if you don't put a show together and like at least give you highlights and tell you, hey, maybe you want to talk about this and maybe spin off this. And yesterday we talked about the Tigers, and I'm like, let's compare them to the Lions. You know, what's the number 1 team in Detroit now? Who you have most confidence in? Do you have the most confidence in the Lions going forward, or do you have more confidence in the Tigers going forward? There's only a few ways you can skin a cat.
Right. Anything to
That's what
generate
you
a
do.
conversation.
That's what you do.
I want to get Jason Kenyon in here. $5. When it comes to Harry Carey, look up Matt Light. Harry Carey impersonations.
Oh, yes.
Matt Light did a great
He's
impression.
phenomenal.
Was one of the best pranksters. I don't know.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know that one. But nonetheless, fun stuff, guys. All right, we're going to take a break. Come right back. When we do, want to get a little NBA talk in.
I got more NFL, too.
Yeah, we'll go around the NFL. Let's go around the NFL, then we'll
got
do
college
the Pistons
football,
and
too.
College football. We'll do it all.
All right.
First, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Let's stand for Buick GMC. Great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive, only $259 per month. Or try out a 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation, only $169 per month. How about a 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford, Buick GMC, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Make sure you stay connected to Woodward Sports everywhere. All social platforms, man. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. We on all of them, man. Stay up to date with the latest sports news, live updates, and behind-the-scenes action. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button now and be part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. That's at Woodward Sports on everything. Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok at Woodward Sports. Make sure you follow us right now.
And let me tell you about Buddy's. That's right. Buddy's Pizza has been serving the original Detroit style since 1946. 79 years later, 22 locations in the state of Michigan. Fans can still visit where it all began on the corner of 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards, earn points on every purchase, and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app. Start earning today. Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10% on your entire order using the promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10, MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com. Buddy'sPizza.com. Jason Kenyon, $5, sent Tom a link to the impersonation Matt Light did. It's a cut from Games with Names, my favorite. Matt is hilarious. Maybe we can get a conversation or two from Mr. Matt Light. I will say this, just a little bit of a tangent before we go to Tom Mazway for some NFL news. Here's what bothers me about the NBA. There's no Stanley Cup final tonight. There is no NBA game tonight. I don't know how difficult this is.
Right.
Stanley Cup final, NBA final. Stanley Cup final, NBA final.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup final, NBA final.
They want to drag it to Father's Day. That's why.
They're not getting to Father's Day.
They're not?
I mean, well, I guess they are. Yeah, I guess, yes, they are. Yes.
I don't know why they insist on these Sunday games. Like they missed last Saturday. Remember Saturday night?
Yeah.
There's nothing on. Saturday night.
It's ridiculous.
Nothing on.
For what? For a Sunday 8 o'clock
Yeah.
game?
Who wants that?
How about starting it at 7 o'clock?
How about playing on a Saturday at 8 or 9?
I agree.
Put it on a
It's
Saturday
so
at 9.
dumb, man. It is so dumb.
I want to watch a game and not have to worry about waking up in the morning.
That's what happens when I feel like the elites forget about like just the normal schedule, and they're just like, yeah, we'll put it here, and it's like that doesn't work. No one wants to stay up on a Sunday.
I love what Ryan said. Every other day, the NHL and NBA get together and don't get on top of each other's games.
100%.
It's wild, man.
But you know what? They just drag it and they drag it on,
100%.
and you know this is not going to be a compelling final. It's not. Game 1 turned out to be great. The fourth quarter turned out to be great. Game 2 was an abomination. Who knows what Game 3 will bring? That is tomorrow night. Pacers and the Thunder 1-1. It'll be in Indy tomorrow. I'd rather see Caitlin Clark play against them than what I'm seeing right now. So Caitlin Clark's still out, by the way.
Yeah,
Still
I couldn't even care less anymore.
I know.
About that. Like,
I know.
Like
The WNBA has completely they eroded my even enjoyment that I had a little bit for it.
Like the WNBA totally destroyed themselves.
Yep. To me, they did.
Oh, yeah.
To me, they did.
They took Michael Jordan
Yeah.
and put their foot on his throat.
Yep. And
Essentially,
complained
of their
about
league.
it. And then complained about it.
It's that we're so mad that Michael Jordan is getting all the attention in our league. It's totally taken me out. I don't care about Caitlin Clark. I don't care about, like, God bless her. Like, I hope she has a great career.
She will,
but she doesn't do it for me anymore.
It's like somebody made the argument that like don't pay attention to Michael Jordan, pay attention to like Charles Barkley.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Listen, yesterday
he's the
before the show at DGC at the Detroit Golf Club, we're all sitting around. They got this big fire pit there. It's a gorgeous place. What a beautiful place
club.
to hang. And they got these great comfy chairs. You're laying in the chairs. You put your feet up right by the fire. The fire wasn't on yesterday, but we're all chatting. Sam Flannel, all of us were there. And someone brought up, Maz, do you like the WNBA? Or what was the other thing?
College softball.
College softball.
College softball, they
Women's
said.
college
Easy.
softball or WNBA.
And I said, I'd watch college softball
All day.
1,000
Easy.
times
All
more
day long.
than I would watch one WNBA
Right.
game.
It's crazy, man.
I even
day
brought
long.
up, I'd rather watch women's college basketball than
I don't know about
WNBA.
See, that I don't know
Yeah,
about.
no, you've
Women's
lost
sports,
me.
as a whole, women's sports isn't going to make me go watch on the TV.
Nope.
Now, I had 3 girls, so I watched a ton of sports. Softball, basketball, volleyball, soccer. Watched them all. Tennis. And it interests me. But to go watch the WNBA, no. I don't like what that league has become. It's a loser as far as money goes.
Yeah.
29 straight years.
It's a loser. And then you get Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You get Caitlin Clark.
Holy Grail.
And they treat her like crap.
Yeah.
And they beat the living daylights out of her on every single night. She's got her hair pulled. She's got her ankles rolled. She's got elbows pushed. And she's trying to hang in there. She's not as big as some of the other players that are there. She's a great player. Neither was Steph Curry, wasn't as big as the other players, but he made a thing for himself.
I found this earlier today, guys, while I was helping Tom with some research from the show. Look at this. I mean, nobody else watches any other games but the Fever versus Sky.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's all there is.
It's like a reality TV show. Like my wife will watch those shows, and I'll watch. It's the same plots. They always end up fighting. It's the same thing. It's
Great
just caddy.
analogy.
And it's just like they can't focus on stats.
So-
at all. No one talks stats. Think about it. They
Right,
never
I
talk-
mean-
So I won't
Reese
even bring it
never
up.
bragged
Good
about
analogy.
stats.
I just don't even bring it up anymore.
Don't watch Michael Jordan. We want you to watch Nick Van Exel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Horace Grant.
Go turn on Mookie Blaylock.
Not even. Andre Drummond.
Go take a look at Go take a look
I'm
at.
sorry, Andre.
Right.
I do like you.
Andre knows he sucks.
I do love
Go
Andre.
take a look at Anthony Mason.
Watch Mason. You watch your mouth.
Detlef Schrempf.
So yeah, so we were
either
chatting
way.
about that. That's just some, chill talk.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, that's funny, guys.
What's no doubt?
Yeah, I want to get back to some NBA.
Oh, good.
Go around the league. Here we go, Tom.
NFL?
Big trades, big moves. Who is starting? Who's injured? What does it all add up to? It's time for Around the NFL on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
All right, he's not NFL anymore, but he's always NFL. He's a Hall of Famer. His name's
is
Deion
terrible.
Sanders.
Dion.
Deion Sanders, the head coach of the Colorado Buffalo, who has not been with the team for a while now. He's got health problems. He's ill, and he hasn't said exactly what he has. Eventually, he said he will. The players around him, his sons, he's had 2 toes amputated because of blood clots.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go to you there, Ricky. What do you got on Deion?
I would think his sickness is my son doesn't play on the team anymore. I don't want to be here.
You think that's
I
it?
think that's what his itis.
Both of his sons.
Yeah, both of them
Are
not
gone.
here. I want to go to the
Hey,
pros
look,
now.
I don't want anything bad to happen to Deion. I don't. And he's been going through it for a while now, right?
This probably is a very new thing for him, though. Look, there's no doubt he's got health issues. We all saw the 60 Minutes with his toes just cut off.
Yeah.
Never saw a foot like that in my life, to be honest with you. So he's definitely dealing with it. Deion Sanders is not good for college football. Deion Sanders is great for college football in everything it represents to guys like me. And I hope he's not done at Colorado. I hope he can continue, and I'd love to see what he can do without his sons. But in terms of his sons, it's really all he has known in his coaching life. Mm-hmm. Whether it's coaching the kids in high school, coaching the kids in AAU, I don't know what they call
league or little
yeah,
league
like
or whatever.
just the travel football, like the
Yeah.
IMG type style
Yeah.
of football that Shador and Shiloh and all these kids have played. And then Jackson State and then Colorado. He is only known coaching his kids. I have to imagine the family man that he is, it wears on him a little bit at least. Now, I don't think that has anything to do with why he's out now, but the mental part of it, I would think that's a big deal.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going on. Supposedly he lost his toes because of blood clotting, nothing else. That's the reason with that. But he was an unbelievable athlete. He still probably is, and hopefully he will heal up and get better. So I just wanted to drop that on you guys. A guy that didn't make it is Jim Irsay. Guy lived hard, and he lived happy. Jim Irsay, who passed away.
That's a poor guy. That transition, a guy that didn't make it.
The guy that didn't make it. It is what it is.
Boom! Right in the kiss.
It is what it is. Jim Irsay passed away a couple weeks ago, and now his daughters, which I think is awesome. He's got 3 girls, and all 3 of them will now be the owners of the Indianapolis Colts. All 3 will have a particular spot with the team.
That's gonna end.
His daughter, Carly Irsay Gordon, Casey Foyt, Kaylin Jackson. Carly Irsay Gordon will become the owner and CEO, with all 3 sisters sharing leadership roles for the club. So the Colts have a female owner. The Saints have a female owner.
The Lions have a female.
The Lions have a female owner. The Bears had a female owner. Virginia McCaskey just passed, so that passes on to her son as well. I think that's it. And you know what? When Lamar Hunt's son, Clark Hunt, after him, it's Gracie Hunt. I mean, women are taking an important part here in the NFL.
Jody Allen, Seattle Seahawks.
There you go. Thank you. And they're selling them, by the way.
Yep.
It's and these 3 in particular in Indianapolis. It feels almost like a situation. Like Ted Lasso. I mean,
Yeah.
the female owner.
that's right.
Like, I mean,
That's coming back, by the way.
Yeah, is it?
He's going to be did you watch Lasso?
No, I
You
wasn't
didn't.
a Ted Lasso fan.
That's a shame. You didn't even try it, did you?
Well, I watched 4 episodes, and it was ruined for me that this is the best show on TV. It's so funny. You got to watch it. You'll love it. And then I watched it thinking to myself, oh, this is the best show on TV. I got to watch it. And I didn't laugh one time, and I didn't. It's not like a ha-ha comedy.
Can't
but
you try it again?
potentially could.
You know what? I don't even want to talk to you about Ted Lasso. He's coming back to coach a women's soccer team, by the way, in the next season. Okay, guys. Here is another guy that's available. He's a linebacker, veteran linebacker from the Cincinnati Bengals. They don't want to pay anybody. They're releasing veteran linebacker.
They don't want to win.
This is their team captain,
Oh,
Jermaine
my God.
Pratt. Led him in tackles,
Dan
leads
Campbell
him in
guy.
everything. This is an Alex Anzalone. That's
a Dan Campbell guy right there.
There you go.
Team captain.
Who comes in
Chip on his
cheaper now,
shoulder.
Anzalone or Pratt?
Oh, man.
There's
Well,
another guy that you can go after.
There's competition for Anzalone now. If you are looking for money on the open market, there is competition at your position. Similar type player, right? Similar type age, similar type everything. So we'll see what happens. Randall Smalls, $5. R.I.P. Sly Stone.
Do you know how scared I got when I saw the tweet yesterday?
That's
my stomach.
not.
Now,
yeah.
look, nothing against Sly Stone and the
Nothing.
family Stone,
Nothing.
but I thought it said
Sly
Sly
Stallone.
Stallone.
Sly Stallone.
That scared the living daylights out of me.
If you thought you were sick when Tony Soprano died,
That would be the end of me. if Rocky Balboa goes, that's the end of me.
oh
my gosh.
That's the end of me.
dang.
Anyway, yes, Sly Stone, he's having a great time up in heaven. So there's another player for sale, Jermaine Pratt. The Patriots and the Steelers were hot and heavy for a wide receiver this offseason.
Hot and heavy.
You know what the Steelers did? They went and got DK Metcalf.
Coming with your
Chris Godwin was offered a lot of money by the New England Patriots
Wow.
to come, and he took less to stay in Tampa. He said his wife and family wanted to stay in Tampa. New England offered him $30 million guaranteed a year.
Wow.
Yes.
And he
He turned it
stayed.
down.
And he stayed in Tampa.
He turned it down.
He's
So
gonna regret
that
that.
probably evens out though. When you go look at Massachusetts state tax
Oh,
and
yeah.
go look at Florida
Florida.
state
It's
tax.
a
Yeah,
zero.
there
It's
is
with
none.
zero.
None.
There is none.
Zero. That's
Yep.
you probably would have gained about $1 million and a half bucks.
I was about to say he's probably making the same amount. Yeah.
Probably about the same amount.
Who came out and said the
The hockey situation.
Bissonnette. Biz, they call him on TNT. He came out and he told the NHL commissioner, anyone that would listen to him, that it's not fair that Tampa Bay and Florida have an advantage over the rest of the NHL because they don't have to pay state tax, income tax.
You're right. And I would say
Gary
just
Bettman told
look
him,
at him.
you're a joker. You're a
Yes.
joker. But these Florida teams throughout the leagues
Yep.
do have an advantage.
And you know,
100% they
Bettman's
do.
argument was go look over the course of the years, over the course of the decades since the Florida team started being good, and people just want to go to competitive teams and great organizations
And nice
do
weather.
all that. And the answer to that is no. I mean, the taxes have gone up almost everywhere.
Yeah.
And to the point where it does make a lot of difference. Okay, if you made back in the day, let's say you made $1.5 million with Edmonton and $1 million
Just $1 million flat
just $1
with the
million
Panthers.
flat with the Panthers, you're probably
You're washing.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know
That's
what I want
a
to try to
fun
say
fact.
other than go do the tax thing now. Yesterday's news isn't today's news. What you were able to sign for back then, the money is so much more now, and the taxes there's such a disparity in taxes depending upon what state you live in. And I'm sorry, it is a big deal that you can go to Florida and not pay a state
huge.
income tax.
That's how they knew Tiger was going pro back in the day. I'm reading this book by James Patterson, and when he registered as a Florida resident, that's how they knew he was going pro back in the day before he signed his contract
I see.
because of the taxes.
And where did Tom Brady come from? Massachusetts. And where did he end up going? Florida.
Florida, yeah.
So there you go.
My daughter Lily, I told you, is in Tennessee. Tennessee does not have a
Not
state
upstate
tax.
it.
There
So
you
I
go.
said, hey, Lily, making a few extra dollars, you'll pay your cable bill now.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So that's a break, man.
It
That's
is.
a good thing.
Every little bit helps, man. I'm telling you, no matter where you're.
And somehow the roads are still nice.
Yeah,
How
right.
about that? Hey, we talked about
All that money going to
Jair.
education. What's going on with those scores?
We talked about Jair Alexander earlier and yesterday as well. Well, Pro Football Focus put out the best landing spots for Jair. There they are. Who's on the top, as always?
What did I say yesterday?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
What did I say about Howie Roseman?
Bro, you could say that about
You knew
any
that.
free agent.
Yeah.
You knew that.
Hey, by the way, did you see what Howie Roseman did today?
What did he do?
I got to say what Howie
Was
Roseman
it Jeffrey
did
Lurie,
today.
you mean?
Jeffrey, yes.
The
Jeffrey
owner of
Lurie,
the
yes.
Eagles?
Let me pull this
I
up.
know. You
so
were very happy that he
Oh,
did that.
this guy, Jeffrey Lurie.
By the way, top landing spots as Ryan's looking for that. Eagles, Rams, Vikings, Ravens, Panthers, and Raiders for Jair Alexander.
Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie is donating $50 million. It's the largest single donation in the history of the United States to create an autism institute in partnership with the University of Penn and Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. They call it CHOP. And it's just an incredible donation, and there's so much that needs to be discovered, and the goal to understand genetics and biology surrounding the disorder, research neuroscience, explore speech and language processing, and prepare to launch clinical trials. This is incredible. Eagles Autism Foundation has raised $30 million in its lifespan for families with ASD, and he is giving $50 million of his own money.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Tremendous by the Lurie family.
Phenomenal. It's great that he has a winning franchise as well. He made a lot of money in the last few years, but wow, you don't have to give it, right?
No.
And he gives it. And he gives it. And to autism, which is unbelievably the way it's grown in the United States. So it's horrible.
Was 1 in 10,000. Now it's 1 in 31.
Isn't it?
We're going to take a break.
Unbelievable.
Come right back, and now we'll talk about KD to the Pistons. But first, a message from...
You got it, guys. It is time for your Feldman Chevrolet update, and you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado for just $199 per month, or you can get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $259 a month. Come visit any of Feldman's 5 locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, or over in Lansing, and we'll be right back.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Beligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 13th from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Nemo's in Corktown for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw and Ven Johnson.
Hey guys, justice. It just means different things to different people. But whether it's a settlement or a verdict, justice is always worth the fight. If you've got a case, contact the fighters at Ven Johnson Law today and get the justice you deserve. Tough, tenacious trial lawyers. It's Ven Johnson Law, the fighter.
We got to get him on the show here one of these days. Nonetheless. Hey, I wanted to get to I teased it yesterday. I promised it. Going to pay it off right now. Stephen A. Smith talked about perhaps a potential destination for KG, and it's here in Detroit.
This right here, though? This got me intrigued. That got me intrigued. That might have to be higher up. That might have to be higher up.
How does that happen?
That's bringing me back to like old Detroit vibes.
All the young people had the pieces to be in the movie.
Hold on. KD with Cade? With Cade Cunningham? All those young You understand what I'm saying? With Beasley shooting the threes? I mean, come on now. I got to come on now. I got to look at that. I got to look at that.
Yeah? What do you say? He also said that Mark Jackson should get a look for the Knicks head coach. He says it won't happen, but he should get a look. Like I said last week, he should get a look. But KG coming here, KD, Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper, that would be fun. And I remember, was it 2 years ago that the Suns and the Pistons played each other, and I remember how impressed that Kevin Durant was with this Cade Cunningham-led Detroit Pistons team. I said back then, man, maybe he would like to play here. Hey, and he's coming down. He's on the back nine. He's like on the back three, probably.
Yeah.
But, man, it would be nice to go to Little Caesars Arena and watch that guy play. I don't know. Play out of 80 games. If he could play 60 games, I'd be happy. Just don't give up Jalen Duren for him.
Yeah, no. Look, Kevin Durant, I think, would be a perfect player to fit in this Detroit Pistons roster. Perfect player. And obviously you don't want to give up too much for him. Perhaps Phoenix would just want to get development. I don't know what Phoenix is going to want for Kevin Durant. He is still Kevin Durant. He could change the balance of power
Ron Holland
in the Eastern Conference. He could. And if he goes to New York, which probably he will go to the New York Knicks, most likely he'll go to the New York Knicks, that's a situation where I think that makes them better. For sure. And you feel like you're at a spot when you can, you're so close to an NBA
to be relevant.
Finals.
To be relevant.
I think you really are. Boston's going to have a down year. I don't think Cleveland's very good. I think they're going to be down. The Knicks, who knows what will happen with them. And I think the Pistons and Pacers and perhaps the Orlando Magic could be three teams to keep an eye on moving forward in the NBA.
There's a Florida team for you, right? Wants to save some money?
Absolutely. Speaking of Florida team and the Stanley Cup final last night, just ugly. That's not a good game. I don't like a game like this in the Stanley Cup
Well, it's the first time it's happened in the 3 games. The first 2 games went to overtime. The second game went to double overtime. Game 1 almost went to double overtime. But the Panthers dominated at home last night. They blew out the Oilers 6-1. They looked like the champs. They look strong. They look hungry. Connor McDavid looks a little hesitant. Draisaitl didn't have a good game. And Stuart Skinner did not have a good game in goal. And Bobrovsky, the big Bob, in goal, had a great game for the Panthers. I'm rooting for them, guys. I really am. I told you. I want to keep the streak going. 1993, last time a Canadian team won. I'm all for it. Keep the streak going. I know I'm probably in the minority because people think the Oilers, it's good for hockey if a Canadian team wins, blah, blah, blah. I know the best player in hockey is Connor McDavid, and they're fun to watch. They'll bounce back the next game This game, I think it's going 7 again. It went 7 last year. I think it goes 7 again, and it's in Edmonton this year. Last year, Florida got to skate the cup at home. I think this is going 7 no matter which way it went last night.
There is so much NFL to discuss, by the way. It's just one after the next because players are starting to talk right now as we speak. First of all, Matthew Stafford was on Pardon My Take, and he's talking about the return to Detroit. But the first-round pick, J.K. Dobbins, signed a 1-year deal with Denver.
Yeah, $5 million.
That's smart.
Incredible stuff. But the Cincinnati Bengals are pretty incredible. So the first-round pick, Shamar Stewart, is ripping them. Shamar Stewart says, we all agree Trey Hendrickson will be all right, but technically he's still 1% wrong for being under contract. In my case, I'm 100% right. Talking about why they're holding out.
He's a freaking rookie. It's easy to make a rookie contract.
Pay me. You can't do that in as a rookie. It's slotted.
It is.
It is slotted.
I don't know what he's looking for.
I love him calling out the Bengals, though. There's something fun
but that's not a very good start
about calling
of his
out the
career.
Bengals.
And it's not a good start to start your career. Poor Joe Burrow.
Poor Bengals.
Poor Joe Burrow.
Well, he could have a career like Matthew Stafford, where you get all your
traded
numbers,
somewhere.
get all your money, get all that, and then go win. Go win later in life.
Maybe he'll come to the Lions
Dude,
one day.
I'm sorry, but he got effing cafeteria food. I don't want to be there either. Remember that when they got an F in the cafeteria
They
food?
got an effing cafeteria
right.
food.
They
F.
finished dead last out of 32 teams.
Right.
On the report cards that come from the players.
I wouldn't want to be there.
Dead last. Every year.
Exactly.
Dead last. Why?
You can't even
What
have
are
a
you
good
doing?
meal.
What are you
Crazy.
doing?
I can't get a meal.
Hey, speaking of news, did you see? This is making national news now. Did you see downtown Detroit? First of all court is virtual now. It feels like not all court, but most court is pretty much virtual.
like
Some woman was making her little daughter a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the virtual court. She's in court, but she's sitting there listening to her chair and making peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The judge kicked her out of the virtual courtroom.
Wow.
Kicked her out of the virtual.
It's one of the most ridiculous videos.
Kicked out of a virtual courtroom.
I almost thought you were going to say they let her off the hook because, that's a nice mom.
No.
She's making it. But, yeah,
No,
I guess you got to pay attention.
Kicked out of the virtual courtroom.
Yo,
Is
she
that
had, like, a
great
t-shirt
or
on,
what?
like a house coat. And she's like, I do have clothes on. She has a T-shirt on. It was
What else
wild.
did you guys talk about today on the 9? What
Um,
other fun stories, throwaway
actually missed
stories
it,
like
man.
that?
I don't remember, dude. I'm so brain dead by
know.
3:55.
He goes segment by segment.
I really don't even know what we talk. Oh, Mitch Albom was there today.
What
They
was
raised
Mitch
a lot
doing?
of money for Eat Detroit, 27 restaurants.
Oh, nice.
They had about 1,300 people last night raising money for Say Detroit.
Good man, Mitch.
So he was there. We had a party planner there today. For kids' birthdays, graduation parties.
I
all
wish I had her
kinds of-
to help me with my
Right.
party.
I know she was great.
Kathy was a decent one, but whew,
Oh no,
She put
Kathy
me
did a
through
great
hell.
job, but yeah. You all cleaned up, by the way.
we're cleaned up, but not everything has not been put away and given back. Because, you borrow tables,
Right.
you borrow
Yeah.
chairs, and now you have the leftover stuff. And I thought the last time we had a party, we had leftover booze, which I gave to our friends who were throwing a party. Like they bought it off of us. We
Yeah.
got it from Costco or whatever. This time, we got nothing left.
Wow.
Nice.
I have 2 bags of shredded cheddar cheese left from the
That's
tacos. That's it. And I mean the
Wow.
big, huge bags. You
Unbelievable.
need any cheese?
Yeah, I'll
take
take
some
some
cheese.
cheese.
Hell
I'll send
yeah.
some cheese over with Maddie on Saturday.
Good.
All right?
Okay, good. You?
Good. You?
Good. All right, gang. That's going to do it for us. Tom Mazurek, great job out of you today. Ricky
you, sir.
Burns, Pete Spivak, you guys rock.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for watching. Braylon's back tomorrow. Anson's in tomorrow as well.
Thanks to Freddie Felt for coming in today.
Yes.
Absolutely. Good job, Freddie Felt.
Good job, Freddie.
Absolutely.
Any other chatters want to come in? Let me know. Write it down. Send me a note. Maz@woodwardsports.com. We'd love to have you come in.
$500 to
on
sit in the
show.
Maz chair.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can sit in the Maz chair. I'll sit on the couch.
$500.
$500. $500. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Watch The
Woodward Sports
Sopranos
Network.
tonight.
Anytime on YouTube.